guys, so today's video is going to be all about my beauty favourites of the year 2013. Now most of these you would have seen in my videos before, but I figured it was best to just kind of round up the year and show you guys what I've been loving throughout the entire year. Now before I go ahead and get into the video, I figured I'd let you guys know that my friend Brittany from Beauty by Brittany X, we both live in Newcastle here, she's also making this video as well. So in some crazy universe that you guys aren't already subscribed to her, I'll have her channel linked here and also in the description box for you guys to check her out so you can see her yearly favourites as well. But other than that, I'll get right into it because as you can see it's all right behind me and I have a ton of things to show you and I've got a lot to get through. So first up I'll show you all of the face stuff that I've been loving. So throughout the year I pretty much like to alternate what I put on my face depending on what the weather is. So in summer I like to wear lighter foundations and powders, and in winter I like to wear things that are a little bit heavier. So I have 3 products to show you today. The first one is more of a light coverage and it's the Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream. This one is the one with the blue lid and everything, and I find this is so much better than the actual original one, the Dream Fresh one, just because it gives you a much more glowier complexion and it's not as oily looking. I also find that it stays a lot longer and the colour doesn't oxidate as badly. And this has just been my lazy day kind of foundation to put on, just so it's something nice and light that covers up a little bit. It's not too much to where I'm just going to totally sweat it off and get rid of it. So that's something that I've really been loving. Now the next product, which is a medium coverage, is the Avon Smooth Minerals Foundation. Now I have used this honestly for about 3 years now and I've never gone off it. It is an awesome product. It's always been a staple of mine to just kind of wear to work or just wear throughout the day because it does give you quite a lot of coverage, but it doesn't actually look like you're wearing any foundation at all. So I think it's a really awesome product and it's not hyped about at all. So this is just an honest favourite of mine for years and years, not just 2013. And then for a more heavier coverage foundation for when I go out at night or any formal events, I've been loving the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse Foundation, which is only pretty recent to me. I've only just got it a couple months ago, but honestly I've totally fallen in love with it and I prefer this over all of my other liquid foundations. And it's really weird because normally I don't like a mousse foundation. I find them to be a bit crumbly and things like that, but honestly this one is awesome and it's something that does deserve the hype that it gets about it. So it's only a recent favourite, but I figured I'd throw this in here anyways. The next products I'm going to show you are my blushes and bronzers that I've been loving throughout the year. Now as for bronzer, you guys have seen this tons of times. It's the Australis Bronzing Powder, which I've used to death, as you guys have seen. And this I just cannot get enough of. I used to be in love with the Essence one, but this one's taken over again. The quality that this is, you'd think you'd be paying a lot more money than you actually do. I think it's around $10 or $15, but this is the best bronzer that I've ever tried. The colour of it, the pigmentation and the staying power is the best, honestly. So that's my favourite bronzer of 2013. I normally team this bronzer up with 2 blushes that I use kind of alternating days, which are both sleek blushes, which don't receive enough hype. Honestly, these are awesome quality and they're only like $6 or something. Like, they're really cheap. The ones that I do use are called Coral and Pomegranate. So Coral is the one that I use more and it's quite simply a coral colour. It's quite matte, but it has the tiniest bit of shimmer in it, and honestly I didn't think I would like something this deep orange, but it works out so nicely with a bronzer, which is pretty much what I use every day, these two in combined. But on the days that I like to change it up, I like to use this one here, which is called Pomegranate, which as you can see is a deep kind of plummy colour and it also has shimmer to it. But you really only need the tiniest bit from these blushes. Like honestly, if I swatch it right now, you can see like how pigmented they are. So you only need the tiniest bit out of these blushes and they last so long. Like, I've had this for nearly 2 years and it's barely even dented the product. Like, it is awesome. So those two I have been loving throughout the year with my bronzer. Now as for highlighters, I don't really use one every single day just because the foundations that I use are already quite glowy, so I find that if I put highlighter on top of those I kind of look a bit like a fairy, so I don't really use it too often. But the one that I have used throughout the year is the Too Faced Candlelight one, which looks like this. Honestly, I would not pay $30 for this again. That's how much I did pay. I'd never pay that much for it again, but it is quite a nice highlighter on its own. So as you can see, it's kind of a yellowy base kind of highlighter. It's a really nice product regardless, it's just the price sucks about it, that's all. So this I kind of use on nights where I'm going out and I like to have a little bit of extra to my face. But like I said, I don't use them every day, but every now and then it's nice to have. Now on to eye products. You guys have seen these in my videos so many times, so I really don't need to explain too much into them. But as always, the Sleek Twist Up Eye Pencil is my favourite eyeliner of all time. For years and years and years it has been, and it's just the blackest, best staying eyeliner I've ever used, and it's only $3. I mean, I've gone on about this so much, so I really don't need to explain how much I love it, but I just figured I'd show it anyways. For liquid eyeliner, I've really just been non-stop going to Maybelline Master Precise. I find it's the best one on the market at the moment for drugstore, just because the brush of it is so much more finer than what everyone else has. A lot of brands have steered towards the hard felt tip liner kind of route, whereas this one's more of a soft brush, and I find that this is way easier to use. The only problem that I have with these, like I always say, is that they dry up too quickly, but that's just because honestly I use them every day. Like, of course it's going to dry out if I use it every day. So honestly, it's a love-hate relationship, but it's more of a love relationship. So Maybelline Master Precise, always a favourite. Now these two mascaras you would have seen in tons of my videos. Again, it's the Maybelline Colossal Cat Eyes, which is just this yellow tube right here, and the CoverGirl Lash Perfection. Now both of these puppies have totally dried out, like there's not even any mascara left on them, they're totally gone. So I really love these throughout the year. They are the best separating mascaras that I've ever used. I find that if I get volumizing mascaras, they get too clumpy, whereas these guys, they do volumize, but they also separate, so it's not just like big spider lashes. So definite favourites of mine, and they're very cheap. They're only like $10 or $15, so absolutely love them, and I've already repurchased them, so I can throw these out now. Okay, now on to lips. So if you guys watch my videos, you know that I'm such a nude lip girl. I'm so boring. I go straight to nude lips all the time. So I'll get that right out of the way. My favourite nude lip of the year is Savvy Long Lasting Matte Lipstick in Paris, which you have seen in tons and tons of my videos all the time. It is the perfect nude. It's just such a nice beige-y kind of shade. It's not too orange, it's not too pink, it's just the right kind of beige. And for the amount of money, I think this was only like $5 something. This is honestly the best nude that I've tried. I even have MAC nudes, and this one beats the hell out of it. Honestly, these lipsticks don't receive enough hype for the amount of money that you pay, and I think they are awesome quality. But I'm not going to go on about it anymore because you guys have seen it so many times. So Savvy Paris lipstick. On days where I feel like adding a little bit more colour than what a nude gives me, I go straight to this Maybelline one, which is called Make Me Pink. The best way to describe this lipstick is it's a neutral kind of pink that isn't too bright, but it isn't too pale. So it's not going to make you look like a Barbie doll fairy, and it's not going to make you look like a big disco dancer. So honestly, it's just such a nice neutral pink to wear. I particularly like wearing it to work just because it gives me a little bit more colour, but it doesn't make me look like I'm overdone. So just on the days that I like to have a bit more colour, this is the one that I go to. Okay, and for days that I do like to have heaps of colour, which obviously I don't wear these to work, but just on days where I like to be a bit more dressy, where I'm going out or whatever, I go straight to the Australis Velour Lips. Now, my favourite, of course, I'm wearing it right now, is this pink one here, which is called Malibu. You guys have seen it plenty of times, and honestly, it's the best pink I've ever seen. It's so fluoro, so bright, and it's just, it makes a really nice statement. The other two that I have is this nude one here, which is called Paris, which I like to wear sometimes to work just for its long-lasting ability, and this orange one here, which is called Rio D. I've only worn this one a couple of times, but the colour really is an impact colour. Like, you really do notice it. And these products do get the hype that they deserve. Like, honestly, these are amazing products. I'm so glad Australis came up with them, because it's great to see an Aussie company coming up with something so good and so great in the market. Like, there's nothing like these. There's nothing you can compare them to. So definite favourites of mine, especially this pink one here. Okay, so that was everything for makeup, which I know you guys have seen all of those in my videos before. There's nothing new that you've seen there. But I figured I'd throw in a couple extra items just to kind of make it a bit more interesting. So I have some nail polishes here, but I feel like I'm going to drop them. So I'll get through them quickly. As boring as this is, this black nail polish by Sally Hansen is the best black nail polish I have ever tried. Because there's nothing more that I hate than when you buy a black nail polish and when you put it on, it looks like a see-through grey kind of colour, whereas this is just opaque black straight up. You really only need one coat of this, so it's just the best black nail polish that I've ever used, and it has the best staying power as well. They're also pretty cheap. They're only like $6 something, but you can also get them on sale at Priceline for like $4, which is crazy. Yeah, as boring as a black nail polish is, this one you cannot beat, honestly. It's the bomb. Along with Sally Hansen nail polishes, I have this one in Pacific Blue. You guys have probably seen this in a video of mine in the past. It is the best blue, honestly. The camera does it no justice. It's like a neon pastel-y kind of colour, which sounds total opposites, but it's just such a beautiful blue, and I'm not really a blue person, and I love this. So if you're interested in a really nice summer colour, this one is the way to go, because it is just so gorgeous, and I really want to put it on now. These last two nail polishes are quite similar in their shade, so I'll go through them really quickly. This first one is China Glaze Flip Flop Fantasy, which is a neon pinky, orangey coral colour. It is so neon, it is ridiculous. You can barely see it on the camera. Out of like the 100 nail polishes that I own, this is my most favourite colour and I always go back to it. So it's an old love of mine. I've had this for a long time, but it's definitely a solid 2013 favourite. And as for the other colour, which is a Face of Australia nail polish in Show Off, which you've seen in plenty of my videos, I'm sure, but it's just a really nice neon kind of watermelon colour. That's the best way I can explain it, like the inside of a watermelon. That's kind of what it looks like, and I just like wearing this particularly on my fingernails just because it's a really nice pop of colour, which it's ironic because none of these nail polishes I've talked about are on my nails, but whatever. Yeah, I've worn this throughout the year, even in winter, and I find it works well throughout all of the seasons. It's not just kind of a summer colour, it just, I don't know, it just flows nicely and it looks really good. So I've been loving that, and I'm pretty sure you can still get this one in store. It's not like they're limited edition ones. So those are the nail polishes that have been particularly my favourite, but as you can see I wear different ones all the time, so I like to change them all out, but those are the ones that I really kind of keep going back to. Now lucky last, I have two perfumes that I wanted to show you, and you'll have to forgive me because I am honestly the worst person at describing scents, so I'm going to look them up on my phone to see what they actually have. But the ones that I'm showing is the Taylor Swift Wonderstruck, which is the one with the purple ball and all the jewels on the top. And this, I don't know how to say it, this is so embarrassing, but Thierry Mugler, I think, and it's called Alien, and it's in this purple kind of bottle that looks like a crystal. So as for the Taylor Swift one, I got this from Priceline a couple of months ago for about $30, which is an absolute steal because it's normally around $60 at David Jones. So make sure you shop around if you're interested in this one because you can get a pretty good sale on it. But according to a website, just because I don't know how to explain the scent, I'm going to copy it off this website here. So it says the top notes are raspberry, dewberry, green tea, freesia and apple blossom, and there are notes of golden amber, musk, sandalwood and peach. So it's a whole bunch of fruity smells, which normally I don't like, but honestly this is such a gorgeous smelling perfume. I just love it. It's just, it's so fresh and enlightening, and it just makes me feel happy when I wear it, which sounds really silly, but honestly I love it. And it's just such a nice perfume, and honestly I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, so I thought I'd hate it, but I love it. And it's also cool because it's got these little jewels on here, but I'm scared I'm going to break them off one day. But that's the first one. Now as for the Alien perfume, this one is a little bit more expensive, and I'm pretty sure you can only get it from perfume shops. It's normally around $120, but this is a refillable bottle, so you can get the actual bottle refilled with the perfume, which is what I got for Christmas. So in my opinion, it's worth every cent just because it's such a nice perfume, and every time I wear this, even at work, I get a compliment from customers or just random people telling me, hey, you smell nice. And in my opinion, it's worth every cent. But according to the website, it has warm white amber in the base, woodsy notes in the heart, and sunny Indian jasmine in the top. No idea what all that means, but it's just this amazing concoction of such a nice smell, and it, like I said, it's worth every penny in my opinion, and it's just such a classic year-long smell. Like, it's not just a winter or a summer smell, it's just all the bloody time you wear this because it smells so good. But that would have to be my favourite out of the two. This Alien one is just so good. So those are all the products that I had to show, and you have no idea how long it took me to film this because my memory card kept filling up. So hopefully I've gone through everything pretty well. If you have any questions about them, as always, feel free to ask them down below, but I'm sure I've talked about them plenty in the past for you guys to know plenty about them. But that's all of my favourites of 2013, so hopefully you saw some things in there that you personally like or that you personally want to try out, and hopefully I've convinced you to, because honestly these are awesome products and they're all pretty cheap too, which is good. So yeah, as always, like I just said, if you have any questions, ask them down below, but other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.